Eddy, I'm your host, who loves you the most. Yeah, even you. Use this overview. So in this stream, I went through the Blender, exactly the manual, starting from opening Blender and selecting in the help menu and using, of course, trusty Windows desktop magnifier, and from help selecting the manual. And I also checked the official tutorial they provide, which is also a video, but I've closed it because I didn't want to sit and just watch the video. And video is the only free course on the Blender's website. All other learning materials are subscription based. So I've decided to actually go through the manual, similar like I did for Godot. And if I expand this, I went through the sections, quickly went through. Actually, we went through. Did I skip these? Did I skip something? What am I doing straight here? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Well, the first section, getting started, that's very superficial. I just wanted to go deeper on here on the left side, and I went actually almost reading every detailed thing. Went faster through some of the parts, but actually I've got a good, clearer view into the interface, so I can more efficiently actually work with the tutorials. But for me to learn an application or something, it's better to read through and take my time and actually check in the application itself, what does it do. And to get familiar with the workspace, like a top bar, what's in the top bar, where the menu is, general menu, options in the menu, and then here also the right of the main menu. Here is the section, the workspaces, that actually I didn't know this, or I was just guessing about it. So now I understand that part, and then I understand that also here I can change the actual view. What is this? What's called editor type. Select between them and how to go back if something changes, because changing the editor type can really look dramatic change. Selecting another one and go to the previous. So I'm confident that I understand what I do and why. If I go through that, then status bar, well, some things are super simple, and then learn how to interact with the areas. Like, for example, that this region, that it's actually a void between the panels, is interactive. Some things I forgot, like what are the basic shortcuts, but if I right click here, I can say join areas, and actually, yeah, And in the tutorial there is an example of okay, so what I did, I actually I have now a new window. I dragged outside like a clone a area to a window. Those sorts of things. What are regions in a scene? Like for example, in this editor view, we got the regions for a toolbar, the modify last action, then the sidebar shortcut N, toolbar shortcut T. Also that the one can zoom in and out the toolbar. Tools, is it shift, control? Okay, control and middle mouse button to make them larger. The interactive parts of user interface. General overview and tabs, panels, and so on. So I've read through all this, and there are many levels of the user interface elements, and especially as it's handling different types of data, but it hints that the data types are actually chunks that are manageable, and how to actually use them, reuse them, or even export them, save them, connect them to a project or export them, and how to manage the relations from the external asset or link them internally, and whether to embed them or let them sit outside. So at this point I'm at the nodes, which is a standalone subsection of the manuals part user interface, and our stream is 3 hours in. I'm not sure how will I edit the shorter formats from it, but is it even useful? But I'll keep it for the reference. So for the other next session, what's left is in the user interface section, nodes, tool system, operators, undo, redo, and selecting. Let me just have a quick look how it looks in general. For example, selecting. What does it do? So it's in the section user interface. By default uses select. Let's see what they do, how much of this there is. Okay, it goes, let's say, here in detail with the selecting the elements in the 3D viewport. Lasso, circle, square. There is quite a bit of it. Then next, so what would be next thing? Annotations. What would that mean? 3D objects to nodes setup. The annotation tool is available in multiple editors. Annotate. Activated. Well, what's the purpose of it? Okay, so I have to read to find out. Undo, redo. Okay, some terms, some naming convention refer to the more standard terms like this in undo, redo. But for the complex, elaborate application like Blender, it probably means quite a lot more. Operators are mentioned already, but here's a specific chapter about operators. So now I'm going just for what is left in the user interface. The tool system. They can be accessed from toolbar. General introduction to tools. Individual tools have their own documentation. Okay. And the nodes. section specialized for its own introduction and explanation. So that's what's gonna be going on next. Well, this might be an efficient recapitulation, but it's more like an audiobook. I've created a video audiobook with some simple presentation parts, more like I'm just reading out loud stuff, but I do go into the application, actually see for myself. I try to speed it up to get to some like more instructional section of the manual. I was hoping to get to the point where they say, okay, put a cube, do this to it, and that's what will happen, but still not there. There is the section for the user interface is quite detailed, elaborate, but it's good to read it through. It does appear like reading the year calendar and reading the date and time and names for each day, time and month in the calendar, but this is a special calendar. So it would be good to know actually for use case for apply that to Blender learning. It would be good to know in that year, if the Blender was a year, it would be good to know each date, what's the name and in what month. What day is it in each day of the Blender calendar? Thanks everybody who stopped by on Trovo. Well, sorry, but it's work days, no gaming, learning, working, growing. So this is me, Eddy. I'm your host, loves you most, even you, signing out. Thanks for stopping by.